Hey, yo, what's good? Right now, you watching Casino is the name, and I'm here to talk about investing in your own business. Gonna wait for a little while, let some people get on here. But in case you don't know, my name is Casino, and I have several businesses that I kind of partake in. I have a real estate business where I have rental property, and I also have a trucking business. I do video production, pretty much anything I can kind of do. I Right now, at the time that we're in, it's more important than ever to invest in your own business. So well, if you have a job and you got a retirement plan, that 401k plan is really your company, or the company that you work for, invested in stocks. So I don't think that everybody kind of understands that it's still just a stock market that they're playing. They are matching, so you are doubling your money usually up to a certain percent. My organization matches up to 5%. So as long as you put 5% in, you know you're doubling. So that's a win-win. But on top of that, anything more than that is really a gamble. You don't know how the stock market is going to do. And right now, the stock market is falling. So there are a lot of people who are planning on going to retirement, but their 401k plans took some major hits, so they're kind of going to stick around a little bit longer. Uh, and basically, all stocks are representations of how well the market believes a particular company is doing, whether or not their sales, management, things like that. So when you're investing in stocks, you're really just investing in a company anyway. It's just not your company. So I just decide that anything outside of the 5%, I would prefer to just put back into my own business. And so that's kind of why I'm making this video. Pretty much like, if you think about it, right? How much control are you buying when you buy an Apple stock? You're buying no control. And hey, who's that? Johnny McHenry. What's up, man? Hotshot going. Say hi, Chicago. Chicago coming through. Okay, that's what's up. Yeah, Hotshot business is good. Right now, my driver is in South Carolina. Yeah, we got a load from Atlanta to South Carolina for like 800 today, 830 or so. So pretty good little run. No big deal. He gets to go to Myrtle Beach, chill out. So that's kind of that. But the business is going well. But I'm multifaceted. Like I don't want to just do one thing. Like I want to do as much as I can. I got a chance to talk to Jay Prince. In case some of you don't know who that is, Jay Prince is like a legend. He used to be Floyd Mayweather's manager. He is the owner of Rap-A-Lot Records. He put out the Ghetto Boys with Scarface, and so he's just basically he's a legend. He has a cattle farm, a lot of cows, a lot of cattle. He has real estate. Houston legend. So, but I got a chance to get a chance to, talk to him. He just released a book called The Art and Science of Respect, but I got a chance to ask him some questions. And I really asked him the questions. It wasn't even necessarily for me, but it was more so for you guys. But I asked him about, and it ended up helping me because I really wasn't expecting him to answer it the way he answered it. But I asked him, with him having done so many different things, basically, like, how did he find the time to accomplish so many different things? Because it's almost like he's lived a bunch of different lifestyles, a bunch of different lives. But he accomplished so much. Some people say he's a billionaire, but he accomplished a lot. I mean, from boxing to music to books to farming to, he got a lot going on. And I said, how did you get a chance to accomplish so much? And he said, I put my pants on like everybody else, one leg at a time. I got the same amount of hours in a day that everybody else got. I got 24 hours in a day. So it wasn't exactly how I expected him to answer it, but it actually helped me because he's right. Like, we all have the same amount of time, and everybody is not the same when it comes to their hustle or their get up and go or whatever. So that made perfect sense to me, and I thought that you guys could benefit from his answer, but I actually benefited a lot more from it than I expected because it kind of put things in perspective for myself, because I also do a lot. I have the same amount of time as everybody else. And there's no reason why you can't become whatever you want to be. There's no stopping you from becoming a doctor except for you having to go to medical school. There's no stopping you from creating your own business except for you starting your own business. There's nothing. It's just a mind frame. You just gotta go do it. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I just want to come to y'all, and I figure sometimes I just like to come speak to you guys on some one-on-one. Hold on, I'm trying to read this message. Let's see what. That's awesome, man. Congratulations, man. I understand. I want to do Hotshot, flipping houses, stocks, everything. Generates money, that's right. And what was the other one? Okay. I want to open my own tax practice once I get my CPA. You actually don't have to, who's that? All Pro. So you actually don't have to wait until you get your CPA to open your own tax practice. You can actually open your own tax practice now. Believe it or not, there's not really anything outside of getting the tax ID number thing, the filing number, the FIN or whatever from the IRS in order to be able to do taxes. Having a CPA is not like, the only thing that a CPA can do that any other accountant can't do is sign financial statements. Other than that, you don't even have to have a CPA to really do anything. But it's great to have it. A lot of businesses need CPAs to sign the financial statements and say, certify certain things or whatever. But I mean, you really don't have to have a CPA in order to do tax. Most times when people go to H&R Block, the people who work there probably don't have an accounting degree and much less a CPA. I have to go see a CPA because my taxes are usually a little bit more complicated, but for the general public, most people don't actually go to a CPA. Let me see. I'm getting calls and messages. Okay. All right, hold on. Let me call somebody. Let's see what Kay doing. Anyway, so do you have a net worth goal? Do I have a net worth? Man, I want as much as possible. So the question was, do I have a net worth goal? I'm just trying to get as much as possible. Kay, what's happening, man?
What else?
Hey, I'm on YouTube live right now.
Oh, I'm good with you.
Ain't nothing to it. Hey, so he, this Big K. He's a rapper and he's also a truck driver. So he drives semi trucks. You drive regionally, right?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah. So he's the one who actually was one of the first people that told me to get into the trucking business, and I'm trying to run it all the way up, and I'm gonna try and bring him in as well as soon as possible. We still building, we still trying to grow, but this guy right here, how long you been driving trucks?
Well, about 6 years.
About 6 years. On and off.
Yeah.
So he also just dropped a song, and you uploaded it today, right?
Yeah. Somebody that like the Jug Man song.
Yeah. So he's friends with Jug Man. They just dropped a song called Like the Jug Man. And in case you don't know who Jug Man is, Jug Man and Young Thug, they're like they're like brothers or whatever. So anyway, support, man. I was just calling you. I just saw it upload online, so I was just like, let me call him real quick.
Okay, yeah, I'll be up the out next weekend anyway.
All right, cool, yeah, because I know they'd love to see, talk to a truck driver, somebody who actually got CDL. Somebody said, what do you think about Grant Cardone? I like Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone and Dave Ramsey, they both have their own place. I'm answering questions that people posting.
Okay.
So yeah. But yeah, when you come out this way, man, we'll do a video, we'll do an interview, and we talk about both sides, the trucking side and also the music side. So we'll do that.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was actually thinking about doing a video about that, like Grant Cardone and Dave Ramsey. They both have their own. They both have their own benefits based on based on where you are. You know what I'm saying? At one point in time, Dave Ramsey worked best for me, and then now Grant Cardone's message works best for me because so Dave Ramsey helped me. Well, I ain't gonna say help me, but he was talking all the things that I need to talk about. Roseworth's video is great. Oh yeah, I got to go check that one out. But Dave Ramsey was talking about all the things that I needed to do in order to go into business, right? So you have to have your credit right. Well, at least I did. I got my credit right. I had my, my accounts right. I did all of those things. I reduced as many bills as I could in order to increase my debt income ratio. And then once that was done, then that's when basically all of the teachings that Grant Cardone talks about made the most sense for me, because then they need to start a hotshot company. You know, the question is, how much money would you need to start a hotshot company? Well, it depends. What's your credit like? Semi-truck and trailer. Your thought over about semi-truck and trailers? Well, okay, so one question is, how much would you need to start a hotshot trucking business? And that would be basically depending on your credit, depending on what you already have, what you don't have, what you can get access to, right? So for instance, the insurance is high. You got to put down a down payment on the insurance. And the insurance, depending on what your insurance is, could be $2,000 to $4,000 to $6,000 down. I don't know what yours is, but that could be just a down payment. Now, can you put that on a credit card? Do you have a credit card with $10,000 that you limit on it? Then you could do that. If you go down and you get a dually truck, so let's say you're just gonna get a dually truck. Dually truck might be no money down depending on what your credit is. So you might be able to get a dually truck, no money down. But if you go to try to buy a semi truck, and even if you get a used semi truck for say $50,000 and you need to put 20% down, you got to put $10,000 down up front. So it just depends on your own personal situation. It's really hard to say this is how much money it's going to cost you, because what it may cost you may not cost me the same, and it may cost somebody else much less than it even cost me. So it just depends. Worth it. How would you consider college? Hold on. Okay. Let me go back. Let me go back and look at, okay, your thought over semi-truck and trailers. I think semi-trucks are easy to find work, to find business for, because everybody needs semi-trucks. I get calls, tons of calls all the time, because I have my own trucking authority. So people are always asking me, do I have a semi-truck that can go here, there? Do I want a dedicated route? So semi-trucks, hotshot trucking is a little bit more of a hustle. It's kind of trying to find that, that right load that's perfect, but it may pay more, but it's not as automatic as it is having a semi truck, but it is low in maintenance and everything else. So, they both have their advantages. Let me see, what was this other question? The other question is, entrepreneur, the best way out of poverty. So is entrepreneurship the best way out of poverty? That is an interesting question. That's an interesting question. So think about this. How many athletes do we know? Or do we know who started in poverty? LeBron James grew up in the projects, but he was not an entrepreneur that, he's an employee of the NBA, you know what I'm saying? And so before he was an entrepreneur, he was an employee, and that brought him out of poverty. It's really hard to say, is entrepreneurship the only way, or the best way? It's so hard to say, because so many athletes started in poverty, so many entertainers started in poverty, so many people started in poverty, and they worked their way out, or even just going to college and made their way out. So is working in or going to college worth it? For me, it was absolutely worth it. So first, my way out, I went to college, got my degree, got a good job, built my credit, paid things down, and then I transitioned into, basically entrepreneurship. But I'm still not a full-on entrepreneur, because I still have a great position. And yes, I had a question that said, am I still in hotshot trucking? Yes, I'm absolutely still in hotshot trucking. My driver is Is my next move a semi? So my driver is actually on the road right now. Well, he's in South Carolina right now, getting ready to drop something in the morning, and then we're gonna find something else, hit it somewhere else, and that's kind of how we're gonna do it. What's this other question? Is my next move to get a semi? I am thinking about getting a semi next. I am definitely thinking about getting a semi next, but yeah, more than likely I'll get a semi next. My driver, he definitely said that he'd love to be in a semi, and then he don't have to like try to come home as much because he just live on the road pretty much. So I am definitely thinking about getting a semi truck. What else? What's another question on here? Okay, is it easy to find loads? Are there any days that there isn't any loads? Well, I appreciate it, King Martin. Yes, so one of the questions was, is it hard to find loads, and are there any days that there aren't any loads? Okay, so weekends are horrible to find loads, so it's hard to find loads, but you could usually pick up cars. So cars, are still, hey, did you ever find a good driver? Yes, I got a great driver. My subscribers who are looking for a driver, they actually found a great driver. He has 31 years of experience. He's ready to hit the road, And so now, as far as, what was that question again? Oh, yeah, about the loads. So is it easy to find loads? Is there some days it's hard to find loads? So yes. So some days it is hard to find loads based on the location that you're in. Depending on where you are, you might be in the middle of nowhere. Say if you live near Savannah. Savannah's a port. If you live in, say, somewhere in Louisiana near the port, it's probably a lot easier to find loads than if you're like in the middle of Nebraska and there's no water, nothing really coming in. It's not a lot of people out there, So but if you're in Miami, it's always something going on because it's boats moving, it's cars need to be moved, and so it just depends on where you are, and that'll determine kind of what's available to you, and then also the equipment that you have. If you got a 25-foot trailer, I'm sorry, but I don't see hardly anything for 25-foot trailers. It's very few things that do come out. Let me see. Somebody just said, how do you find a good, will accounting ever be taken over by robots? So check one of my previous videos. I uploaded like 4 videos last night, and artificial intelligence was one of the videos that I did. And yes, so I do Uber sometimes, and the last time I was doing Uber, I picked up some accountants, and because I'm an accountant, we got in this whole conversation, and I was like, yeah, so what do you do? And he said that he works in consulting, and usually for Big Four consulting, you start out in tax or audit. So this guy said he was in his first year, he went straight into consulting. I said, how's that possible? He said, well, tax and audit is pretty much almost all done by computers now. So now they mainly just work in consulting, which is crazy. So let me see. Yeah, I'll probably continue to do video. So a question said, am I going to continue to do videography gigs? Yeah, I'll probably continue to do them. I actually enjoy doing video, like not just for me, but like I just enjoy the art, I like to create. It doesn't matter really what it is. Doesn't mean if it's music. It could be, I shoot short films. I do whatever. I just enjoy it, really. So let's see. Do you set back a percentage of money for repairs and expenses? Yeah, so really what I do is, because I actually have a job, a career, I don't actually take any money from the business. I have to pay myself for tax purposes. I have to be an employee of my own business, but I don't actually take like a salary, like a big salary as an owner or anything like that. I take a very small percentage, and then I basically use that and pay company bills with it. But because I have a job, I don't really have to do all of that. Damn, it's crazy to think that accounting is a great field. Hold on. Somebody said, and that's crazy. It's kind of still a great field to go into right now. High school desperate, despite AI taking over. Is accounting, look, so I look at it like this. Even though computers or robots or drone, AI, whatever you want to call it, even though they're going to be pretty much doing the bulk of the work, what I know about math and accounting is the fact that people are afraid of it. And so if I came to you and I told you that this computer is going to do all of your accounting, there's still going to be a lot of people who are afraid to let computers just, nobody's going to check the computer to see if the computer's wrong, even though, of course, the computer's usually going to be right. So there's always going to be somebody who needs to know the computers, to understand the computers, to interpret the computers, to make the person who they're doing the accounting for feel better, to let the board know, hey, the computer was doing the right thing. So your thing would be, for all new accountants coming in, is to learn that AI, to learn how to interface with it, to learn how to use it, because it's just like with the truck driving. CDL drivers are going to eventually be replaced by, for long haul, they're eventually going to be replaced by these self-driving trucks. But they'll still need somebody to know if this truck is acting up, how to fix it, or how to, maybe they have to just ride along and make sure that the truck kind of does what it's supposed to do, and they have very minimal work involved. But if you're just a traditional CDL truck driver or whatever, and you have never interfaced with any kind of self-driving vehicle, and there's a Tesla truck coming out, and they're like, look, we just need somebody to ride with the truck. You don't actually got to drive. This thing can drive all day, all night. We just need you to interface with the truck. And if you're one of those people like, man, I just know how to, crank it up and drive it myself. I don't know how to use screens like that. If you're afraid of the technology, then you will be passed up. That's just the world we're in. Blockbuster and all the movie gallery. When I grew up, we had movie gallery, Blockbuster. They didn't update their websites to incorporate the digital media, and they were still trying to rent DVDs and VCR tapes and video games, and they got phased out because they didn't integrate. So let me see who else. This person says, I live in Dallas. What are Hotshot to drive? I love it. I don't really understand what they're saying exactly. What are you thinking to start Hotshot to drive? I'm not really sure what you're saying exactly. I could be reading it wrong. Are you in the business credit, leveraging your business? Are you using business credit to leverage it? I'm absolutely using business credit. That's one of the questions. Am I using business credit? I'm absolutely using business credit. I was also leveraging my personal credit for the business. Keep up the good work, sir. Thank you. I appreciate that. Somebody dispatching Dallas. Oh yeah, my dispatch service, most dispatch services, they work because we have so your MC number, so you have a DOT number, you have an MC number. The MC number is basically for you to cross state lines. DOT number, you can drive in the state, but the MC number is for you to work outside of the state. So usually all dispatch services can dispatch all 48 states and into Canada in the United States. So it doesn't matter really like where they live. My dispatch service lives in Florida. They can send you all the way to Washington State. They don't care. Let's see, would you get into dispatching instead of trucking one day? You know what's funny? My dispatch service, I use Wide Freight Dispatch Service, and today I actually dispatch my driver myself. But sometimes we both dispatch. Like you can still do that. But my dispatch service, the lady who I work with directly, Miss Chastity, she actually she told me that she believes that I'll end up starting my own dispatch service eventually, and so I am thinking about that. I hadn't, of course, if I continue to grow and my business is where I'm hoping that it's going to be soon or eventually, then yeah, I'm definitely going to, because that's more money in my pocket. All right, so let's see who else. Let me see. Other videos, bro, keep hosting inspiration. Okay. Do you think first class airline tickets are worth it? No, I do not think first class airline tickets are worth it. Well, value is based on, I always do a cost benefit analysis. So if it's worth it for you to stay in a very nice hotel room because of your personal comfort, then I say by all means do it. But if if it just depends on your personal, like, what do you really want? Like, am I flying first class because I'm trying to go for a look, or am I flying first class because I want the comfort of being in first class? How much of a difference is it? Is it worth $300, $400, $500, $1,000 more? It just depends on what you consider being worth it. Me personally, I don't care if I fly coach. Yo, I flew in military planes that had ambulance in the back, like an ambulance and a Jeep, a Hummer in the back, one of the C-130s where we strapped to the side of the, like this is the wall behind me, and I'm strapped to the side, sitting down like this, and so when we unstrap and we'll sleep on the floor once it gets to a certain elevation. Like I flew like that, and I could have just bought a regular commercial ticket, but that was free, so that's why I did that. So first class doesn't make any sense to me, unless you have a reason to be first class, like maybe you need the leg room or something like that. I don't know, but it don't work for me. I don't really see the purpose of it. What advice would you give someone dropping out of college? Whew. So what do you drop? Why would they be dropping out of college? Like, do they have a situation actually coming up that, why would somebody be dropping out of college? I'm not saying that college is for everybody. So, I really, my son's 9. Well, I got 2 boys, but my son's 9, and we had to have a serious conversation one day because the world that we're living in, this digital era, there are children that you can look them up on YouTube. You can look them up. I don't know what little buddy name is, but you can look him up. He dropped out of school. Well, his parents withdrew him from school because he's from like the UK or something, but he's like a huge YouTuber, and he made, I don't know, he probably make more. I'm sure he makes more than his mama and his daddy on YouTube, right? So they actually withdrew him because the school was upset that he was falling asleep in class and stuff like that, and telling him he need to get off YouTube. But he makes so much money, like that's his career. He already set in that, he wouldn't make what he got, millions of subscribers. He wouldn't make what he's making, sitting in class, what he's making there. His parents probably don't even have as much money as him. So his parents actually just withdrew him and was like, we'll homeschool you, but there's no reason for you to be going to that school because financially. And so that's basically the world we're in. What's her name? Kylie Jenner. She made, I don't know if it was 420 million or something like that. She made 420 million. I think that's what it is. I could be wrong. It's some crazy number though. But she made like 420 million on Instagram. So if children have this access or people have this access to grow and to make the kind of money that they can make now, and it would be hard. Yeah, she's gonna be the youngest billionaire. Yeah, she could possibly be. I don't know if there's already a billionaire younger than her or was younger than her or whatever. But like to know that your child could actually, while we're telling them to get off those phones, to get off those devices, to pay attention in class, we could be wrong, So I actually had a conversation with my son, like, I mean, if you can show me that you can make 10 million, if you can show me that you can make 5 million without going to college, I have no problem with you never, I have no problem. If you can show me you can make $2 million, we'll withdraw you from school so you can focus on what you need to be focusing on. You know what I'm saying? And we will homeschool you, and we will get you the best teachers for home, but allow you still to conduct this business that you have, because what is the purpose of going to school? Not just to learn, of course, you want to be cultured, you want to learn, you want to do all of those things, but we go to school, we go to grade school so we get into a good college. We go to college so we can get a good job. We try to get a good job so we can get good salaries. So if you can far exceed that, like, that's like somebody telling LeBron he should have went to college instead of going straight into the NBA. Why? He would never. I think he made 60 million his first year going to the league with a Nike contract. It was 60 or 90 million. It was something crazy. And what college, what degree is he going to get that's going to pay him that? Not a surgeon. He ain't making that. So, and that's like maybe 15 years of school or 12 to 15 years of school. So there's no reason, and that's massive amounts of debt that he would have had to take on to become a surgeon. So there's no reason for him to ever have gone that way. So is somebody going to drop out of college then I hope they at least have a good reason to drop out of college and not just dropping out of college and don't actually have a situation, just believing that college is not for them. Let me go back. Let me see what these messages are saying. Blessings to your business and your family. I appreciate that. Blessings to your business and your family. I appreciate that, man. Appreciate it. That's love. Is private accounting as lucrative as public accounting? Well, that's an interesting question because it just depends on what you're doing privately and what you're doing publicly. Because if you're a senior partner, so when I first started school for accounting, they had a chart that said after 15 years, you'll make $450,000 plus as a senior partner at a Big Four firm. So you make $450,000 to millions, right? As a partner at a Big Four firm, one of the Big Four firms. So there are people who have private businesses, and some of them make $40,000 a year, but they do their own thing. Some of them make $100,000 a year. Some of them could make $2 million a year. It just depends on how big your private business is. Like, what are you doing privately? Are you Michael Jordan's accountant? Because he has an accountant too. You know, he has probably several. You know, LeBron James has several accountants. You know, what's his name? Donald Trump has several accountants. And, you know, so you're talking about, you got guys like Mark Cuban, billionaire, right? So you guys got billions of dollars. They got multiple accountants. So it depends what you're doing privately and what you're doing publicly. So it just all depends. Let me see. Okay. College students want to be youngest billionaires. Do you feel like college experience was worth the time? You know what? Honestly, I went to school online mostly. I did take some classes in person, and this was around the time where everybody was like, well, you need to take this class online so you get used to taking stuff online. And I was thinking like, well, is this going to be considered the same and all those kind of things? But yes, and then I started taking classes online. At first I didn't like it, and then my life got very mobile. I had to travel around a lot. I went to Japan, Korea, Hawaii, Washington State, California. I had to travel at one period of time, you know, jump around on military planes and stuff like that. And so if it wasn't for online school, I would have still probably been in college now, right? So I didn't have the traditional college experience that, you know, somebody coming out of high school and going to college and staying in the dorms and stuff like that. I was already a grown man. I was like 29 years old when I went back to college. And so, you know, was the experience worth it? I mean, I don't know. Like, the kind of person that I am, I know I'm gonna finish something if I start it. That's just my personality. So I was never like bogged down or felt any kind of way about college, because I know it's like, okay, I'm gonna do college, and then I was just gonna knock it out. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't, you know, I don't know. I don't know what other people go through. Let me see. Do you feel like college? Okay. Random question. 3 doors are presented in front of you. Restart life. Well, door 1, restart life. Door 2, get $5 billion. Or door 3, restart life. Which one do you choose? Wait, okay. It's 3 doors. Both 2 doors say restart life. Which one do you do? Well, I have a great life, so I would go for the $5 billion. You know, you end up restarting life and not knowing what your situation is gonna be, right? Like let's say you restart life. Do y'all realize that being born in the United States is actually like hitting the lottery already, right? We're born into the greatest country, right? You could have been born in some messed up places. I've seen a lot. I've seen some things. Okay, door 3 was reading people's minds. Sorry. I don't want to read people's minds. People have some crazy stuff in their head. I prefer to like not know what they're thinking. And I don't play stock market. I don't really like gambling. I'm not a gambler. Believe it or not, casino, my name casino, actually that means that I don't really gamble, right? Like I'm the house. You play against the house long enough, you're gonna lose, right? That's the rules of the casino. Gambling is gambling, right? What if you read the wrong person's mind? You know, what if you read the mind of somebody who's sure that they know something and then they're wrong, right? And so you've taken a gamble based on, that's why I don't particularly, stock people who like financial investors are, they're supposed to be a fiduciary or whatever, like they're supposed to have your best interest at heart, but really they're guessing, they're taking very educated guesses, but technically they don't know. And if they are using insider trading, that's actually against the law, right? So they really don't know. That's kind of the thing. They got good leadership, they got good whatever, they got, like a lot of companies may have good leadership, but the market changes and blockbuster happens. Like they go out of business overnight. And so it's just kind of one of those things. Like I would prefer to make my own guess. I would prefer to think about it like this. If you're blind, right, and somebody can see and they're gonna drive the car, but they blindfolded, both of y'all really can't see. I prefer to just drive it myself. And so it's kind of like that. When you're giving the money to invest in stocks and stuff like that through a broker or whatever like that, they're really just taking educated guesses. Their educated guess is probably better than yours, a lot better than yours, but I would just prefer to like try my hand at stuff that I actually understand. I know that real estate works because my mama rented all my life, until I was grown. And so I understand that people pay rent. I understand that people need to get things moved. I understand certain, I know people got to get their taxes done. But do I actually understand if the Apple phone is actually performing well because I know people who got them? No, I don't really know because it's bigger than what I can actually see. Like, you don't know how much money they had to invest in order to create the phones. They might have sold 500 million phones, but they created 99 billion phones thinking they're going to sell out. So I don't know enough to really just say, oh yeah, this is a great investment. I know the company's big, but I don't know if they're doing good or bad. They have their calls where they talk, the board talks to whoever talks to people or whatever and make people feel comfortable about investing in them. But do we really know? Like, do we really know? Let's see. What is this other question? Okay, door 3. Yeah, all right. So I recommend showing your kids about investing in the online businesses, Amazon. Would you recommend ever showing? Yes, absolutely. Look, if there's a way to get money on the internet, I'm into that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm into it. Like, Shopify stores, eBay, Amazon, Facebook. Look, Facebook Marketplace. I sell all kind of. Look, I have no problem. If Princess brings something here and she like, oh yeah, I had this when I lived here. I don't need it no more. I done sold washing machines, dryers. I done sold cars online. I done sold all kind of stuff online. And it's easy. Like, you just list it. You don't got to have no storefront. You don't got to have none of that. So all of that rent that you got to pay when you got a storefront, all of those kind of things, that it costs, right? So that eats at your bottom line. So I can sell less. I can charge less than somebody who has a brick and mortar store because I don't have that big overhead. Plus, I'm everywhere. You got to be there, I'm everywhere. Now, you can still have your stuff in the brick and mortar and still be online, but, I can have mine in the garage and be fine. I don't, I'm already paying for to be here. So if there's a way to make money on the internet, absolutely, I'm down for it. I'm actually more, because like I said, I took online classes. I am pro online class. You can still be flexible. You don't have to drive to school. There's gas money involved. There's time being stuck in traffic. There's food. You have to eat what's local if you go on lunch break around that area, or unless you bring your food to work. Bring your food to school. But I can cook while I'm taking online classes. I have more time to get things done by taking online classes. I believe online. I'm online right now. Matter of fact, I don't even have, I don't know if it's called terrestrial TV. I don't know what it's called, but I don't have like regular cable. I have the internet. I have Wi-Fi. I watch movies on websites. I got Netflix, Hulu, whatever, right? I don't watch traditional TV. I believe in the internet. I believe this is the future. More people are moving towards YouTube and things like that than ever before. Like this, I live on YouTube. I watch everything on YouTube. I barely be on Facebook because on Facebook I can't learn anything and I don't get any substance. I can't grow on Facebook. It's all a bunch of ratchet stuff or whatever. But if you want entertainment, you can go to Facebook. There's very little else that people even go to. People don't really even go outside anymore. I have people who will be in the house with me and they'll send me a message and say come downstairs on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? Like, or whatever like that. Like, but we at the house together, but people don't even interact the same way anymore. Hold on, let me see what this says. This says, all right, we're about to start our Hotshot trucking biz with a 30-foot trailer, but I do have CDL. You tried to say CDL. I got you. CDL, just wondering about the tags for the truck and trailer. The tags for the truck. You got to sign up and get your IRP. You got to get an IRP account, and then they'll send you a tag. The trailer, you actually go to the DMV, and they have a commercial side, depending on the size of the trailer. My trailer is 40 foot. I actually suggest you not get anything less than 40 foot. That's me personally, but my trailer is 40 foot, and you have to have commercial. They call them permanent tags. They're like, mine is yellow, but they call them permanent tags for that size trailer. So let me see. All right. Are you considering creating an app for your business? It'll definitely help and be more convenient. I don't know about I don't know if I personally have a business that would, I guess, that an app would help. Because I do trucking and I do, content like this, but I mean, this is free. Like, I don't, and this is on YouTube, it's already an app on it, but I don't personally have anything that would go on an app, personally. That's why I don't know. My last comment was good. Bounder Power, okay. Somebody named Bounder Power. All right, what's your comment? But, yeah, anyway, let me see if I missed anything else. Still waiting on Bounder. Nope, like we're good. Oh, I'm currently university first year. Is there any advice you could give new accounting students? Yes, new advice for accounting students. Learn as much as you can about about these AI, computer programs, all of that. Let me see. What's the name of this program? I use a program. You got to know this program. Intuit makes it. QuickBooks. You got to know QuickBooks. Get QuickBooks. Learn it. Look, businesses need people who can do QuickBooks. Even though they should be able to do it on their own, most people are afraid to do it. You're going to get business. Learn tax. Tax, you can never go wrong with tax. You're going to always have somebody who need their taxes done. Businesses have to get their taxes done quarterly. Although QuickBooks can do it. But if you own QuickBooks, like you can actually get a subscription to QuickBooks, and then you can say, hey, I can do you can basically track other people's business or accounting records through QuickBooks, and you just buy your own subscription, and but you can offer that as a service, and you just charge them more on top of what you got to pay to use a subscription. So, I mean, QuickBooks. So yeah, just basically and it pretty much does it all. It'll calculate the taxes for you. You just put in certain information, and it just automatically. It's dope. It's dope. Like, don't tell nobody, but it's dope. Let's see who else. Who do you suggest do your business plan? So the question is, who do I suggest do the business plan? That's a hard to answer question. I'm a big advocate on doing everything myself. If I do it myself, not that I know that it's right, but I know what I want. You know what I'm saying? At least if I try to do it myself and I find out that it's wrong, at least I kind of know what direction I'm headed versus just letting somebody else take control over your business, because your business is yours. Like, that is you. That's like an extension of you, you know? So if I'm gonna do my own business plan, even if I gotta do it wrong, I wanna have a good example and at least be able to talk the talk. So, and as a matter of fact, accounting is actually not math, right? Accounting is actually a language. It is the language of business, right? So you want to at least be able to understand what's being said. You at least want to have some input on your business plan. But if you feel like you know exactly what you want and you're able to articulate that, then I don't see any issue with going to getting some professional help. If I were to say, you can have your cousin do it, who done did a business plan before, and your cousin ain't gonna charge you nothing to do it, but it ain't gonna be worth nothing when you got done with it. People aren't gonna give you no money after you get done with your business plan. But if you can go to a professional service and you got to pay $500 or $1,000 to get your business plan done, but that $500 or $1,000 is gonna open up $200,000 in income for you because a business is going to loan you money based off of the fact that your business plan is well put together, I say pay that money. You know what I'm saying? So let's see, what do you say? Should I let someone do my business plan to get started, or to get a great credit line? Okay. Credit lines, usually they want you to have 2 years worth of tax returns before you can actually get a loan anyway. They want 2 years of business tax returns or your tax returns before you can actually get, a loan anyway. So a line of credit or a credit card, they'll give you a credit card before they give you a line of credit usually. And you can get that relatively easy. And so you can be creative about how you use the credit card. There are ways that people get money off the credit card. They get a $5,000, $10,000 credit card. They get cash off it. I'm not saying that's what you should do, but I know people do it. What's this other person say? And say, do you feel like money makes you happy, or is it a hustle that makes you happy? For example, do you think you'll be happy if you just sat home and made $1 million doing nothing? All right, so that's interesting. So to me, money is only freedom, right? Like, money is not money to me. Money is just access, freedom. For me, okay, so this is a real situation, right? So I have people that I know who could have retired, had money or whatever like that, 30s, 40s, 50s, and they had enough money to never work again, but they showed up to work and they would say things like, if I hit the lottery, I'd still go to work. And to me, that's a poor mindset. Like, believe it or not, in my opinion, you must come from a poor mindset to think that work is all there is to life. If I had $1 million coming to me every year, no matter what I did, yes, I can go create more businesses, I can try to increase the money, or I can just try to keep that going, or I could just vacation and see the world several times and do charities and things like that. Like, you don't have to go to work just to have something to do. Do you think there are too many people in the accounting game? No, I don't think it's too many people in the accounting game. I think that it's a lot of industries that still have plenty of growth potential, and a lot of people are going to be phased out because they're going to be obsolete when the technology catches up, or when businesses catch up to the technology, because the technology is here, but businesses are still using old technology. And so there are 50, 60. Matter of fact, the baby boomers, it's 10,000 baby boomers turning 65 or whatever like that every day. Or was it? Yeah, I think it's every day. And so that's going on. And those people are going to be retiring, and they actually have the highest positions, and they don't know how to use computers that well. Not all of them. Not all of them. Not all. It's some, but not all of them. And so things like Skype or instant messenger, some people are, it's just foreign to, and I grew up with that. To me, Skype is old technology, but to them, that's crazy, And so the opportunities to work from home and to do all kind of other things like that, like it's here. It's going to be way more flexible. You're going to be able to, one day we're going to probably have holographic meetings and things like that. I can't wait, really. I can't wait. But there are going to be people who are just going to be intimidated by that. What's your opinion on leasing with a company starting out? Personally, however you can get your money, don't matter to me. If you can learn the business from that end, then that's what it is. I know plenty of people who were very successful leasing on. And, I know plenty of people who started their own authority and it didn't do well, or they couldn't keep up and they ended up leasing on. And vice versa. I know people who started their own authority and took off, Did you know an average, on average, a poor person, hold on, shoot. Did you know, average, if a poor person wins the lottery, they will most likely end up poor because of financial literacy? What taught you to be financially literate? So I learned, I came out the streets, straight up. Like, I started in the streets. And that's why, it's another reason why I chose accounting, because accounting for me was second nature. I've been counting, I've been, buying low, selling high. I've been figuring out, we just didn't know what it was called. We didn't know the technical terms for these things, but we've been flipping, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it was, car washes, we got to go buy the soap suds to, whatever you was into, that's just an example, but whatever you was into, we already had to figure out, how much we had to spend and how much we're going to get back. Are we going to double? Are we going to triple? How much we lost? How much I got to pay this person to, how much I got to, use to spend to get more money back. So it was second nature for me. So I really just didn't know certain technical terms. My sister 9 years older than me. Now, she super smart. She was summa cum laude and magna cum laude and all that, when I was like a kid. So she was teaching me accounting terms that I didn't see again until I was 31, 32 years old. But she was teaching me that at 9 and 10. I think I was 10 or 11 when I learned the law of diminishing marginal utility. So I knew those terms and I understood what they were, but I never saw them, but I always applied them to my life. And so, like, for instance, the law of diminishing marginal utility allows you to know kind of like your worth to me. Like, it's just, are you saturated in something, right? Like, if you have, okay, I'm gonna put in an example that she used for me. She said, if Puff Daddy, do you think Puff Daddy would cut your yard for $5,000? And I was like, no, he probably pay $5,000 to get his yard cut. She said, right, but would you think that he would have cut your yard when he was a kid for $5,000? And I said, yeah. And she said, why? I said, well, because he probably ain't had no money yet. And so she said, exactly. So the law of diminishing marginal utility says the more that you become saturated in something, right, the more that it would take to move you. So because he has so much money, or he has amassed so much money over time, it takes more to move him. And so you, me, we all have that level of, and that can work in any category. That doesn't have to deal with money. Like, you can love Jordans, and if you got 10,000 pair of Jordans, then when the next release come out, you're not gonna be like how you was that first time that you stood in line and was waiting on Jordans. You might look at that line and see how long it is. Like, oh no, I'm straight. I'm going home. I'm good. I got plenty. And so it works in every category. So that's kind of how you start kind of figuring out what your worth is, or what it takes to move you. And so it's beneficial when it comes to doing deals. Let me see. Somebody, what do you say? So next message says, okay. Somebody said, all right, hello. I feel you 30s. Yeah, keep them wheels spinning, bro. All right, so Roosevelt F said Ford, Chevy, Dodge, Nissan, or Toyota. Depending on what we talking about. I grew up a Chevy guy. I drive a Benz now, but my truck is definitely a Dodge. Dodge is the king when it comes to this trucking thing, this hauling. But as far as comfort and everything, man, I love that Chevy. It's like a Chevy Silverado. It's called a Denali. They got a Denali truck. That thing's sweet, but the price on it crazy, and it ain't no good for doing this. Let's see. Okay, yeah, I see you. Brad said Dodge, bro. All right, so Binder said, "Have you ever heard the business KPMG?" Of course I have. They tried to recruit me. So yes, KPMG is one of the big four accounting firms. So I definitely have heard of them. KPEY has also tried to recruit me. There's KPMG, EY for Ernst & Young, Deloitte, which is, I don't know if they're the biggest, but they're huge. And shoot, I don't know why I can't think of the third one, but the fourth one. But the Power Stroke might be cool, but for this, the Dodge can haul the most. Would you get real estate out of state since places like Dallas have cheaper taxes compared to places like New York? Real estate is perspective, you know. So you get some real estate in Texas. Even though it's cheaper, you can probably make more money if you have real estate in New York. So even though you may pay more for it, like let's say you got an apartment in Dallas that or a house in Dallas that can rent out for $1,200, and then but you had to spend, I don't know, say you spend $150,000 to get it, and you can rent it out for $1,200. That's cool, but you might be paying like $800-900, a month for that. But then you buy a condo in New York, and let's say that condo, even though it's a smaller space and it costs the same amount of money, but that condo might be able to rent for like $2,000-3,000 a month. So it's all perspective. It's like it's too hard to really say just basing it off of the amount. What's the best investment? So it was okay. Bynum was invited to an event at KPMG yesterday, and I got to talk to the manager, and I got his number for a potential internship. KPMG is literally next to my university. Dope. Yo, what's up, Tanker Sid? What's poppin'? Hey, man, go to that, man. Look, KPMG, they got them nice checks, man. They was trying to give me like a $25,000 raise. And the thing is, you're going to spend a lot of time working. But 1 to 2 years working in a Big Four in accounting, you can write your ticket anywhere. So you have a holding company with your LLC. No, my LLC is kind of like my holding company, pretty much. Like I'm using that, my company called the Royal Family LLC, and it's pretty much the parent company to all my businesses, or my future businesses. Oh, that's what's up, bro. You run your own. I see Tanker C say he got his own Hotshot Trucking Authority and Hotshot Trucking Company. That's what's up, bro. Link up. That message, bro. Keep up video coming, man. I've learned a lot from your piece. All right, man. Y'all be easy. Y'all need to get out of here, too. Financially free. Shoot. Honestly, when will I be financially free? I don't know if I ever want to be financially free, but I guess you could say I'm already financially free, but not really, You run out of Savannah? Okay, that was up. Yeah, I'm out here in Atlanta, man. We run wherever. But as far as financially free, I mean, I plan on leveraging credit and whatever as long as I can in order to make more money. So, Binder, you in the UK. That's what's up. United Kingdom coming through. Okay. I used to be in Germany for like 3 years, man. I traveled all over England and France. I got lost in France. by accident. I wasn't even supposed to be over there. I thought I was in Germany. But yeah, like as far as being financially free, currently me and my wife, we have residual income that comes in no matter what we do. We did a valuation on it today. It's worth about 1.6 million, but it's not that much coming in every year. Of course, it's only it's like 40 some thousand, 40, like right around 50,000 that comes in. But based on like if we use it to get an annuity, it'll be worth like 1 point some million or something. And so 1.95 million, something, 1,195,000, something like that. But like, and it is. Oh, you got to check. I'm gonna check you out. I'm gonna tank a seed. I'm gonna check you out. I'm gonna go to your channel and check you out, man. But that amount of money is not taxable. You can't garnish it. You can't do any of that. So if I decided I didn't want to pay my mortgage anymore, if I decided I didn't want to pay my car or whatever like that, we could still live. We still make over 50,000 a year and live wherever we want to live, or go to the Philippines and live for $100 a month, and rent a house for $100 a month. We could still. So as far as being financially free, I don't feel binded by society or whatever like that. But as long, once I start paying stuff down, it's only so that I can get more money in order to do more. You know what I'm saying? When I get to a place where I can get 5, 10 trucks, that's what I'm gonna do. When I get to a place where I get 5, 10 more houses, that's what I'm gonna do. And so it pays itself off, right? Like I got houses, I got 2 houses, and every month I own more and more, and my tenants are paying down the houses. You know what I'm saying? Well, paying down the house. So like, and then I make money with the trucking business, but it's also paying itself off. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to create more wealth. That's what's up, bro. Hey, I'm gonna create some merch, man. I'm gonna create some merch just for you, Zeal. Okay, yeah. Hold on. Somebody said hot shot. It's a lot of hot shotters in Georgia, man. It's a lot of hustlers in Georgia. What people don't realize that I don't know where y'all from. Where y'all from anyway? Tell me where y'all from. But what people don't realize is that Georgia is the #1 entrepreneurial state. So entrepreneur minded, and that don't mean that, we just all trying to open a business, but it means that in this state, if you open a business, people here are more prone to shop with you than to shop with the big box stores. Just we friendly like that. You know what I'm saying? We're the kind of people who are trying to give you a shot. You know what I'm saying? So growing up with that mindset, I mean, everybody know about the trap. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know that whole concept started right here. So, we all just kind of grew up around hustlers. I'm trying to get Savannah, okay. Canada, okay. Marisa, he in Georgia. Zia, you in Philly? Boy, is it cold up there? John Miller say, he motivated. Me too, bro. Y'all motivated me, really, because I really just be in my own little world, man. Like, my wife said she don't really know too many people like me. Uh-oh, it's freezing. Man, my battery probably about dead, man. My bad. Okay. Never studied it. I'm doing a degree in it because both my uncles are accountants and one of them works with Grant Thornton. Okay, yeah, Grant Thornton got that check too. Yeah. Anyway, man, I got to go because I got things I gotta do around here, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I need to make that trip out to the UK. I want to do a meet and greet with all y'all, man. One day we're gonna link up. We're gonna try and link up. I'm not really introverted. It's just my mindset is I'm busy. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm focused on a certain thing. So I ain't really introverted. I ain't really extroverted. I know how to handle myself amongst crowds of people, but I don't really like being around crowds of people. Maybe I'm a little introverted, but I don't really shy away from it. But it's hard to meet people that's like-minded, and so people waste your time. I ain't got time to waste. Well, my mama from Miami, and I went to high school in Tallahassee, but I'm from Georgia originally. My dad and my whole family been in Georgia for hundreds of years, so that's how we ended up in Tallahassee, because Tallahassee is like the perfect middle between Atlanta and Miami. So I went to middle school at Griffin and high school at Godman Leland. All right, man. Y'all be easy, man. I appreciate y'all. Yay.